Hi, everybody. This is the MovieJar podcast. I'm Chris, and
Hi,
these three
Chris.
are.
Hi, my name's Alex, and
Hi, Alex.
Hi,
I
Alex.
I've been 5 months sober.
This
Thank
is
you.
Alcoholic Anonymous. We lied.
This is
What do I
Cookies
do?
Anonymous.
I've taken the first break from my project for like a week, so yeah, I'm feeling pretty refreshed.
Next
Hi,
up,
I'm Cameron.
Hi, Cameron.
Hi.
Thank
okay.
you.
And lastly, we have.
I'm Kaya.
Hi,
Kaya.
Kaya.
Hi, Kaya.
So
And
how long have we been sober?
Never.
About an hour.
I should be drinking.
Who wants to go get drinks?
Bro, you don't understand. I went
Uh,
out for drinks on a random Tuesday night because fuck it, and I went to the casino.
What are you, middle-aged?
Yes? I gotta be honest, there was more Chinese people than middle-aged people there. But anyway.
they could be. They could also be middle-aged.
They were, but like there were more middle-aged Chinese
No, there's.
than like middle-aged white.
All right.
What
That's
what about
Moving
what
away
about
from the
that has
tourism
a
industry.
what about that has that reaction?
Speaking of casinos,
No, it's just that you said like
No, this
middle-aged
wasn't
and
the
then you said
casino this time.
Chinese.
Wrong one.
You're wrong one. This wasn't the casino.
no,
Wait, what?
I was trying to lead into that. Speaking of casinos, we cover what's our movie this week, Chris? Just shut up.
I prefer to keep the subject on alcoholism, but we
Oh.
can't have nice
Speaking of
things.
alcoholism.
So we're introducing Ocean's 8. The Wine Mom's Fantasy.
Oh my god, that
It's
is
a
so
movie.
right. That is
I
so
think
right.
that was the demographic. Either that or like the people who just didn't want to have kids but have kids, and they
What would you
wanted to
say- what would- how would
put
you
that on for
describe
them.
How would you describe the plot, Chris?
Uh, a subject that has left my mind near entirely. They're trying to rob a necklace, and it's worth a lot of money. And they have to use their skills to do so.
It's a
and
heist
then-
movie. That's all that really there is to it.
Yeah, it's just a fucking
It's
heist
a heist
movie.
movie.
This is the most
That's
generic heist
pretty
movie
much.
I've ever seen. The only
Listen-
thing that is different was that
all
it was an
women.
all-female cast.
Anne Hathaway.
Sandra Bullock.
I have to say the best part of
Kate
this
Blanchett,
movie
my
was the music choice.
Oh, the soundtrack was amazing. It was
See,
so
it's
fucking
It was
good.
tasteful.
It's weirdly
funny
good.
You mentioned that. It's really funny you mentioned that because hold on, hold the hole. Okay?
Oh,
I'm holding the hole right now.
All cast and crew. If I look at who was the composer for Ocean's 8, the composer was oh my god, yeah, you had a big cast. So fucking what? Was Daniel Pemberton, who did the Spider-Verse movies, or at least the second Spider-Verse movie. So.
oh yeah, Cameron. And
also-
speaking of
also was the
IMDb,
composer for Concord.
Oh?
speaking of IMDb, do you want to try to guess what movie the editor of this movie has also edited?
Give me a hint.
It was in this year's Oscar noms.
Oh no.
Was it that
Shut
Mexican
up.
crime boss?
Oh
Cameron's
no. I'm now connecting the dots.
Cameron, what movie do you think this editor edited?
What is Amelia Perez for 200?
Emily Perez is correct for 200, Cameron.
I'm gonna blow my fucking brains out.
Bro, I looked at the IMDb because we were shit talking the edit and also the cinematography. We were shit talking the edit so bad, and I looked at it and I was like, I have to save this for Cameron. I have to save this.
I'm
for
so
recording.
glad that I refused to look at it after you told me not to, because that just makes my opinion of this movie even worse. I had a slight bit of praise for some choices, but now I can't on principle.
I forget what the cinematographer had. Oh yeah, like half of at least half of this crew is French. I just want to
Hey,
just put that out there.
here's also a fun fact. The composer, Daniel Pemberton, who is quite talented, composed for both Spider-Verse movies, uh, the Steve Jobs movie, the Great British Menu TV series, Concord, Enola Holmes 2,
Ew. Not even the first
Birds,
one, the sequel?
Birds of Prey, and also the
Oh.
Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, the Trial of the Chicago 7,
Ooh, good
um,
movie.
King Arthur: Legend of the Sword.
The one with Timothy Chalamet?
Yeah, I think so. Yesterday, um, Peep Show. He was a composer on Peep Show. Fucking Space Drive.
Space Baby?
Schizo Samurai Shitsu.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry.
I'm
Hold on.
sorry, what?
Let's rewind a little bit.
Run
Do not just say
run
Schizo
that
Samurai
back.
Shih Tzu to me.
What?
I'm not joking.
Jamie, pull that shit up.
Viewers, if you're wondering why we're not talking about Ocean's 8, look, man, we gotta pad out the runtime.
There's not a
somehow,
lot to
okay?
talk about with this
Not a
movie.
lot to talk about with this movie. Like, even I'm saying that. But, like, he worked on this thing called Schizo Samurai Shitsu.
What the
Holy
fuck
shit.
is that?
He
Oh my
was
god.
the composer on that in 2010. So, let it be known.
Colin McFarlane's in it?
What?
He was a composer on Hell's Kitchen at one point for 16 episodes.
I don't know,
how
I
you're a
can't make that
composer on
noise
that.
properly.
Uh,
I have it in my
let's-
soundboard somewhere.
Yeah, he did a lot of TV stuff at one point. The King of Communism, the Pomp and Pageantry of Niccolo Kasusuhu. I can't.
Yeah, and like every movie that had an all-female cast made in 2018.
These boots are
James
made
Corden's
for
here too.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the fact that these boots are made for walkings in it. But yeah, no, James Corden's in
yeah,
it.
no. James Corden's here, and for whatever reason, he's involved in the case.
Oh yeah, Cameron, you know who Claude Becker is? That is Thorin Oakenshield.
That's Trevor Belmont.
It's Trevor Belmont too.
I'm aware. I'm aware now. Hold on, Greg Davies is in Schizo Samurai Shih Tzu?
Bro is still looking at it.
No, hold on. You tell me this name, and now I'm intrigued. Greg Davies is in it? I need to see this now. That's our next episode. I'm
No.
vetoing it.
No, you're not.
It's 5 episodes. Come on.
No.
That can be
When we do TV shows, that can be your TV show, Cameron.
But we've already said we're not doing TV shows.
We have said that we will do a TV show
eventually.
eventually.
No promises.
Schizo Samurai Shih Tzu.
Anyway, back to Ocean's 8. Chris, how would you describe your experience watching Ocean's 8? How would you describe it to the audience? That's a fair description.
Chris may
I'm
be
not gonna
dead.
lie.
Honk. Me.
Chris.
Yeah.
Chris. I feel like I have to beckon into the void for you, like I'm petitioning some great sleeping god, and then the first response I get after doing that is just yeah.
Who dares disturb my slumber?
What?
Chris, if you had to describe your viewing experience and your understanding of the plot, how would you do that to the audience? And also, you can start making shit up, but the moment you do, if we spot it, you have to divert.
We will call it out.
Um, So watching this movie and trying to find the plot is boring.
That didn't happen.
What the plot?
Okay, Cameron, you were the only one in this call who didn't watch it with Chris, so, like, I don't know. You don't get to call things out. Shut up.
Keep going, Chris. Keep going.
It's I think I know the plot. But each interaction is so boring and forgettable that I can only remember the idea of there's this group of women and they want to steal a necklace, and there's like this rich lady who gets the necklace. I believe she's in financial trouble, and it's like the main problem is there's like a magnet lock that keeps it on her. After that, I just I just don't know. I don't remember.
That's basically it.
'Cause yeah, it's pretty much that, and everything in between that feels like filler. It
Because
feels
it
like it
is.
shouldn't be there.
Yeah, that's how, like,
Because
most
it's
heist
just
movies
boring.
go, honestly. Like, heist movies are boring except for the actual, like, heist and them getting away. Like, all the lead up to it is generally pretty boring, but at least the first Ocean's movie made it kind of interesting, and you had George Clooney to look at. But, like,
I will say, last night, while I was house sitting with my cousin, and Jaden gone, I decided that, because I had nothing else better to do, I should just watch Ocean's 11 to compare this to, because this movie came out in 2018,
2018.
so it would have been in production late 2016, during the sort of Obama era optimism, and the short-lived, I don't really want to call it like a trend, because not many movies did it, but the short-lived idea of an all-women recasting of a film.
4 female Ghostbusters? The feminists are taking over.
Well, see, that's the thing. The only example I can think of besides Ocean 8 is Ghostbusters. So I think it was an idea less than a trend. I guess you could say that Birds of Prey was in development at that time, but that took fucking years to come out, so I'm not counting it.
I'm trying to
I guess
think
it
of
does count.
others.
See, that's the thing. It wasn't really that big of a thing.
The
This
first
movie
Wonder
was-
Woman was 2016. That's not
Yeah.
entirely counting in the trend, but it kind of counts in the trend.
Yeah, I kind of get. It's kind of like a girl power movie.
Yeah,
Like sort of.
there was a lot of girl power movies at that time, and most of them were shit.
Yeah, because it appeals to like this vapid sense of white liberalism, of like, what if drone controller but woman, you know.
I mean, yeah, like, the issue with most of these, like, of those sort of, like, girl power movies, especially from the, like, mid-late 2010s, is that it is the most corporate version of feminism and girl power imaginable. It's like, you know, that poster, like the "We Can Do It" poster of, like, the wartime chick. She has her sleeves
Mhm.
rolled up. It's just that, but, like, in movie form, and it just feels low-key kind of, like, insulting half the time, because it's sort of like, it feels like these movie execs just sort of thought, like, if we make a movie and we have a badass woman who has no feelings, or who is, like, perfect and is a Mary Sue, then the women will just love it, and we don't actually have to put any effort into our story writing or our character development like we put effort in with our male characters, because anything that just has a woman as the main character will sell.
Finding originality.
I
Shit
have
like that, yeah.
I have so many feelings about the corporate feminism of film in that time period, and it's kind of, it's not not to go a little off tangent, but it's kind of like partly, but not as much. It definitely is an improvement. Kind of my feelings on Barbie, but anyway,
No,
we're
that's
not gonna
fair.
get
Barbie,
into we're not gonna get into that.
we might. This episode's not going to have much content. But, I mean, comparative to Ocean's 11, I mean, Ocean's 11 isn't like the best film. It is quite boring in the first half. And, like, there's there's a lot of characters, and not all of them are memorable. Uh,
11 is
um,
too many.
yeah.
And then he
There's
got
George
12,
Clooney.
and then he got 13. He doesn't need that many.
Well, you see, George Clooney in this film was actually quite good. I'm not gonna lie. Frank Ocean as a character. Well, actually, no, is that his name? Danny Ocean.
Danny. Ocean.
Frank Ocean?
Yeah, wrong guy.
Ah, yes, the
John
singer.
John Ocean over here. Um,
You
John
know,
Ocean-
I,
yeah.
yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I actually think that. Do you know The Swedish Job by the Internet Historian?
Yeah, I don't really
Vaguely.
watch it Historian anymore because it's a bit of a freak, but yeah.
Yeah, it's fair. I feel as though how he essentially did it was quite good, more as like a discovery of how the people, the criminals did it is far more interesting than the criminals coming up with a plan because it's sort of like it's not from the criminal's perspective, it's a form of discovery,
See, now Chris
also with
is
some
running.
like tidbits in there.
Chris is now running. Now you see me. Propaganda. Um,
Oh no.
It's funny you mentioned that, Chris, because that was going to be like part of my point here. It fundamentally is a very similar to Ocean's 11 from what I remember from Ocean's 8's plot. I forgot to log my thoughts straight after because I didn't have many and I was tired. So when I came back, I was like, I literally remember not much from this film. Uh,
It is nearly the exact same movie.
Ocean's
is, yeah.
movies are just the same movie,
Mm.
with
think the
more
thing
or
with-
less people.
The thing with Ocean's 11 is that it has a lot of the same. They repeat a lot of the same plot beats. Um, instead of in Ocean's 11, Frank Ocean. I'm not trying to fix his name. His name's Frank Ocean now. Frank Ocean is trying to win back his wife from this sleazy casino owner, and like the whole thing is, oh, we're going to steal all this money, but I'm actually also going to get back my wife. And in this film, it's, oh, I'm going to steal all this money, but I'm going to get back at my ex. You know, I did find that a bit like, that's, I guess that's relatable, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not a woman. I will say that. So I don't speak entirely for women. I love women. I be loving women. Anyway, with disclaimers out of the way, I find it a bit odd that the only way that that like modern day feminist retellings can perceive women is still through the lens of relationships, but instead it's because they spend more time with the women characters, it's supposed to make it like a bold retelling, but it doesn't really. This movie is not very funny, and that's not because it has all women characters, it's because it's not very written very well. Heist movies tend to have gag characters who have like one character trait, which is meant to set up like
What the
Okay, so
special heist skill is.
yeah, okay, what was it? That Chinese contortionist guy who shows up at the end of this film.
Yeah,
For some reason.
because he's
Look,
a cameo from the previous films.
yeah, he's a cameo from Ocean's 11. See, he doesn't speak English mostly through the entirety of Ocean's 11 until near the end where he nearly suffocates to death. Oh no, he nearly explodes and then uh, suddenly speaks English and says, "What the fuck" to Danny Ocean. Um, because it's like, oh wow, he can speak English, but he can say "what the fuck." That's kind of funny. Um, but
2000s humor.
the main issue, after all that rambling, between these fundamentally similar films, is that Ocean's 11 has the characters failing a lot more. Not like critical failure where like somebody kills themselves out of shame, but like the characters run into more snafus. Uh, Don Cheadle's British explosionist, demolitionist character he plays. Yeah, Don Cheadle's in Ocean 11. Don Cheadle's
completely forgot about that.
Don Cheadle's character, who's like a pyromaniac, explosives guy, runs into an issue where oh, they completely destroyed the backup grid and now they know about the issues with the backup grid, love mate. And then he's like, what if we steal an EMP from the University of California and we turn off Las Vegas's power? And then they do that. Like it was a small issue that they encountered, but it meant that it had more tension. The issue with a heist film, and it's a rule of heist films, is that if you explain the plan, then something goes wrong with the plan. If you don't explain the plan, then everything goes exactly to plan. This film never explains the plan, therefore everything always goes right, and it makes for a very uninteresting, um, it makes for a very uninteresting, um, very uninteresting.
Movie.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, the only thing that goes wrong is that, like, the necklace can only be taken off with a magnet. But then they solve that problem within, like, 10 minutes.
With Aquafina.
No, it's not with Aquafina. It's with
Yeah,
Rihanna's
she's the one who gets it
sister.
off. Also, can I just say, a magnet is a fucking magnet, man. I don't care if there's interlocking mechanisms, it's a magnet. If you have a strong enough magnet, you can just twist it, and then all the mechanisms that would work on the special magnet would still work. It's just a magnet. There's nothing special about it. So
Camera's gonna crash out
to
over a
have
magnet.
to have this fake intellectualism regarding over engineering of a magnet, it insults the audience's intelligence. But this movie, from what I can tell, is made for upper middle class wine mothers who don't care, and that irritates me beyond
I
belief.
mean, okay. The thing with the Oceans franchise as a whole is that, like, okay, so the way that we're taught in film school about audiences is you have your primary and you have your secondary. So for the original Oceans films, the primary audience is like probably like I'd say 25 to 35-year-old men, maybe 18 to 25 men, and the secondary is still wine mums because oh, you have George Clooney, oh, you have what is it, Brad Pitt?
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
Matt
yeah.
Damon.
Yeah, like Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, and George Clooney, the wine mum like trio. Like, bro, if you fucking added Hugh Grant in there, oh my god. Like, the films have always sort of had that audience of wine mums. So like, it was kind of inevitable that they would make all women cast to try to appeal to it more and make it, and I think that's also why there's more of a romance element to it with like her getting revenge on her ex, because that's a very wine mum, like divorced wine mum like thing. Having that extra like relationship thing in there is another way to market and cater towards a female older, like middle-aged audience. I partially say this because I saw this movie with my mum in cinemas.
Yeah. I don't know. This movie, in comparison, I would say that Ocean's 11 is a better film, but like not by much. It's just more entertaining, and I will say that I've seen Sandra Bullock act, so I'm a little disappointed in this film. Um, but
I love
like,
Miss Congeniality.
yeah, I do too. But like, Debbie Ocean just doesn't have the same charisma that Danny Ocean has. Like, Danny Ocean's kind of a bit of a loser, and the film recognizes that. But he's like a suave loser. Like, he's the embodiment of I physically cannot fight you, but I will just,
But I'll
slime
fuck
my
you.
way out of it. Yeah, pretty much. He's he's definitely interesting. I did actually quite like Danny Ocean. The other characters I've already forgotten about, and there was slight homoerotic tension between him and uh, Brad Pitt, but at the same time, not really.
I
Um,
see that. I see it.
but like at the same time, they echo that exact same thing between Sandra Bullock and Kate Blanchett. It's like
Kate
I
Blanchett
don't
was
know.
such a lesbian in this movie. Oh my god.
Yeah, but she was just Brad Pitt's character.
Yeah.
Like, a part of my issue with this film is that it takes pretty much the exact same stuff they did in Ocean's 11, and they just like, yeah, but what if women? But they don't interrogate the meaning behind that. They don't think of newer, more interesting characters. They just go, all of these roles, but they're women. And it's like, I don't know, in the world of female crime, I guess, I feel like there were more interesting options for creating a heist crew. The only character I really liked in this film, or two characters I really liked in this film, were Daphne Kluger and Helena Carter's character, because at least with a heist film, I like a little bit of incompetence. Uh, I like it when the characters aren't perfect heist machines because at the very least it makes it more interesting to actually watch, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents. That's my 10 cents. Chris, if you were to improve this movie, what would you do?
Not make it.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was gonna say that myself.
Well, Chris, you're being forced to make it.
I'm being forced to make it.
Yeah.
I
If you
burn
make
the studio down.
if you make it, then you get a real life mech suit.
I will. Oh boy, you fucker.
Alright, now you have to engage with the question. How would you make it better?
I have to make it a full feature-length movie.
A full feature length movie, it has to be an all women cast, it has to be a heist film. How would you, Christopher, I'm not gonna say your last name. How would you fix it?
Employ writers from Futurama and The Simpsons.
Really? Why is that?
They're good.
Yeah.
Can they write heist films?
I'm absolutely sure in the 35 seasons that The Simpsons have had, they have had multiple heist episodes.
Probably. Sorry, scratching my eye.
That must be painful.
It is, yeah, I'm like grabbing.
Direct contact with nailed eye is not recommended.
Yeah, I'm like scratching my eye with a toothbrush.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm putting toothpaste on it, and I'm like holding my eye open as I scratch it with a toothbrush.
Also, maybe tighten up the cast. It doesn't need 8 members, just like how fucking Ocean's 11 didn't need 11 members. Make it like 5.
Chris, I'm curious what you think about Ocean's 13 then.
Well, I don't think it should be made.
Brother, it's been made.
Well, it can be unmade.
Is
All
it
we need is an authoritarian regime.
I think that's the one where Danny actually gets caught for a bit and then he escapes.
Um.
Whoa,
Anyway,
oh my god,
Fred-
Cameron disappeared. Whoa.
What? Where the fuck did Cameron go?
Where the fuck
What
did
the
Cameron
fuck?
go?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, no fucking Cameron.
Anyway, so, man, I know I'm like Cameron left just as I was about to say the writer and director for this was the guy who wrote and directed the first Hunger Games movie.
Oh no, Karen, fuck.
Fuck you, whatever caused Cameron an emergency. That would have been content. Anyway, we'll see their reaction to that later. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. This movie's pretty bad. I guess we can just talk about the movie's faults and then just yeah, the we don't really I know that like no one comes here for our actual sincere takes on film most of the time. You come here for all the off-topic shit. I can see you animation students listening in. Um,
I see you, Max.
I see you, Gilbert.
Yeah, I tell you that one of my teachers is aware of the podcast and we watched a portion of probably the Short of the Dead one like in class.
Damn, nice.
Shout out Brenton, my goat.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Another cut. It's almost like it's Ocean 8. So yeah,
Oh my god, the
actually-
cinematography was so fucking bad.
yeah, I feel like Chris can also complain about this. See, for anyone who's listening in who doesn't know cinematography, first off, learn, idiot. Second off,
Don't
There's-
use Ocean's 8 as your inspiration.
there's this thing called the 180 rule, which is essentially that a camera must stay on 180 degrees of a side of one line to maintain consistency within a scene. And whilst technically all the rules of cinema are there to be broken, it's also good to respect them occasionally because it makes your film a better watch. For example, if you ever felt nauseous watching a Michael Bay film, it's because his conversations never respect the 180 rule. When two characters are talking to one another, unless of course there is a physical change in the dynamics of the scene, you usually should stick to the 180 rule. Sometimes if the characters move, you can break it, but for the most part, you should aim to keep it at 180 all the time. There is a scene in the start of this movie where Debitha Ocean is talking to some old guy who was probably in Ocean's 11, but I've forgotten. Um, she was talking to him, and he's all like, "Oh, Frank Ocean didn't want you to be going back into the business," and she's like, "But I love the business, and I love stealing things from people." And they break the 180 rule like every shot. Like the camera just goes all over the place, and like it's fine from a normal aspect, but it's just sloppy, you know? It feels like they had no intention, which they didn't, coming into the scene to display the dynamics between the characters. And that was just annoying. And then it just continues like that forever. I will say, the fuck ass editing, right?
It was kind of funny.
It was funny, and also, turns out that wasn't a mistake. That was an editorial choice because Ocean's 11 has fuck ass editing. Shit looks like a PowerPoint. Bro, at one point they had the screen like flip around.
It's like when you first gain access to PowerPoint and you find out about all the cool like transitions you can have, like the page turning into a crane and flying off the screen and shit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I was
like
expecting
that.
to happen. I was honest to God expecting like one of the shots to turn into a crane and the next shot to be behind it.
It's like
like-
they edited it in PowerPoint. I would rather edit in PowerPoint than in Avid, but anyway. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm be real. Outside of that, I have nothing else to talk on.
My thing with the 180-degree rule, which isn't specifically related to Ocean's 8 because you're right, it in this movie it sucks. Okay. The thing with the 180-degree rule is that like it's because you can get lost in a scene, and like, because like if the angle keeps changing, oftentimes you don't know where they're like positioned anymore. Like, you physically get lost, essentially, or I don't fucking know. And sometimes it can be a stylistic choice. It's not one I particularly like, because it can make you feel fucking seasick. I don't fucking know. But, like, the thing. Okay, kind of a random example, but there's one specific shot in Venom. Hear me out. Where, like. It's in, like, a bunch of movies, but this is just. I think it's actually the one that we were shown in TAFE. Where, like. As Eddie is walking through like the convenience store, the camera turns into a bird's eye and like moves and turns with the motion of him, so that you can have a new 180-degree rule, like something like that, where they establish the movement of a character, or they purposefully move the camera so that, like, it's not a cut to a different angle. You move the angle with the camera and stay on that cut. Something like that is fine, and it can be cool if done correctly. However, Ocean's 8 was just really shitty cinema. Who was the cinematographer?
Hold on, I'll get one name and shame. One name, Chris.
Yeah, hang on. I'm going to
I'm
IMDb.
gonna send you after this person in Minecraft. In Minecraft, that's not real. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I was gonna say that I was going to send you after the person who made the cinematography in Minecraft. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Joke. It's a joke. For my digital footprint, you see, Chris.
Forecast.
No, I mean it. Here's my address.
No.
No, we've already had 2 cuts. Eagle Brilled.
Ain't no way his name is Eagle.
Eagle?
Hang on.
Eagle.
Eagle. Okay, you have.
Oh,
you'd see how it's
Eagle.
all
Yeah,
fucking
it'd be.
spelled.
Oh no, Eagle. It'd be Eagle. Oh my god, he's
Eagle.
Danish. Oh yeah, I did look him up. He did episodes of House of Cards. And that is the
Oh.
only thing of note that he has done. Ever.
Besides Ocean's 8.
Yeah. Oh, he did. Wait, what the. Is this what I think it is? Or. Hang on. No, it's not what I thought it was. Okay, yeah, no. Ocean's 8 and some episodes of House of Cards, 11 episodes, is the only things of note that he has done. Oh, he did that movie 2 years ago, that rom-com with Jennifer Lawrence. What, No Hard Feelings. I vaguely remember the poster for that. Yeah, so nothing of note.
Yeah.
Nothing good, anyway. Apparently House of Cards was good, but I don't fucking know.
Oh no, it hasn't aged very well considering the whole Kevin Spacey thing. Yeah, it's a pretty bad movie. I don't think you should watch it. I mean, okay, the reason why I say if I had to rate it, it's like 2 out of 5. The reason why I'm not saying it's like a 1 out of 5 is because I've watched a 1 out of 5 and this isn't it. But it is just pretty boring. Like, it got some chuckles out of me. I will admit, Anna Wintour just being in this film was funny.
The amount of celebrity cameos was so funny. Like, the Kardashians was really random, but also makes sense. There was, like, some other cameo that we mentioned, but I don't remember.
Oh, fuck. I've forgotten. Like most things in this
Hang
film,
on,
I've
I'm just
forgotten.
gonna look at the cameo list.
Yeah. Chris, if you had to rate this out of 5, who would you give your cookie to?
Oh yeah, Dakota Fanning and Gigi Hadid.
Oh yeah. What the fuck are they doing in this film?
Well, they're at the Met Gala, and like Gigi Hadid is
Yeah.
like, she always goes to the Met Gala.
That kind of makes sense, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Heidi Klum
See,
and Serena Williams. I forgot Serena Williams was in that.
yeah, this like the first Ocean's movie, this just seems like a glorified reason to just have a bunch of just a bunch of celebrities just show up and just show up and just fuck around, I guess. Chris. Chris.
Chris,
Chris.
Yeah.
brother.
Brother.
I returned from the abyss.
He's returned from his hole. What would you rate the movie out of 5, and what character you? What? 1. Okay. What character are you giving a cookie to?
None of them. They can starve in the cold.
I don't think that's happened before.
I
Chris,
look to the
that
child
breaks
and
the
I say,
rules.
perish.
You know what, Kaya? Who are you giving a cookie to?
Well, I mean, I would give a cookie to Daphne Kluger, but like, I feel like she wouldn't eat it.
She did a bit of it, then probably, not finish it.
She would eat like a nibble, like of like an oatmeal raisin cookie, like some sort of healthy cookie, and then be like, "Oh, that's too much for me. I'm already full." Like an almond mom type beat.
Fuck, you're right. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? I can't. What would you rate out of 5 though?
Probably a 2. I mean, like, most of the time, I do kind of have some sort of fondness or nostalgia for movies I saw at the cinema, but I don't really with this one. I have watched it a few times before, just like out of boredom than anything else. It's like, I just want to throw on something I've seen. But like, yeah, it's not great. And like the corporate feminism of it all just kind of pisses me off. It's like, man, why can't we
I'm
just get like a good movie for us for once? Like, man.
You're not wrong. You know what? I'm going to give a M&M's cookie to Rose Whale, the
Vile.
Vile, yeah, Vile,
It's like German or
because
something.
she was by far the most entertaining character in a cast of non-entertaining characters. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Helena Bonham Carter, she
I used
really
to
made a
like
character.
her.
She
But
really seems like
shh.
she really seems like a character who does not belong in a heist film and yet is there, much to her chagrin. And I really liked how she just was always startled. I kind of liked that. She felt like she was a character the writers actually liked writing. I can't really say that for anyone else besides Kate Blanchett in this film. Or well, the wheel shall decide our fate. It'd be really funny if this is when we got Conan and Cameron wasn't here to see it.
Hey, at least Aquafina wasn't the worst part of this movie.
That's true. This is another film where Aquafina wasn't that bad. She was pretty bad in this film, but it wasn't that bad. Everyone watching the stream, Chris, Conan time. Chris, Conan the Barbarian. You-
Don't get his hopes up like that.
Chris, what's a film you don't want from this wheel?
Fucking Evangelion? Is that on there?
It
Yes,
is.
it's on
You
there.
haven't watched it yet.
Evangelion.
I'm not gonna ask you what you want because we all know.
Good. Now get on with it, big man.
Kaya, what do you not want?
Probably also Evangelion, yeah.
Okay, what do you want?
I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead. You know what? I want more Anne Hathaway. Give me Devil Wears Prada.
I don't want. I don't want to watch. I kind of want to watch most of. I don't want Watchmen.
I knew you were gonna say Watchmen.
Like, man, I'm a simple them with a simple plan. I want the Northman. Fuck it.
Robert Eggers! My
We'll
goat!
decide our fate. We'll be kind to us. Oh,
Not bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
okay.
Actually, no, looking at the list, there's a lot of bangers, you know? There's a lot of good ones.
We have endured shit, and now we shall have peak.
I have never seen this.
It's a good
Neither-
one.
And
Neither have I. I'm looking forward to it.
It's a really
West-
good movie.
A Wes Anderson flick. I'm looking forward to it. Well, Chris, lead us out of the episode.
So, this has been Oceans of Pain, and the movie was Ocean's 8, and yeah, we did that, I guess. We also touched on a billion other subjects. I've been Chris. These guys have been here.
oh, thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
Really feeling
I'll
the
say
love.
goodbye. I'll say goodbye now. And these
I
guys
won't.
can do their own thing.
I won't say goodbye. Fuck you.
Okay, hello, asshole.
Hello, audience.
Where's your
Fuck
money? I want it.
Anyway, we will see you all next week.
Maybe.
Maybe.
If we
Yeah.
We'll see you at some point when we
When we
watch
decide,
Isle
you
of
will see us.
Dogs.